Anyways, let's do some shooting. Oh, beautiful. Good evening, everybody. I hope you're all well. Hopefully you can hear me. Yes, there is movement on the sound bars. Good evening, Stan. Good evening, Derek. Good to see you there. I think you may be a newcomer, but welcome along. Good evening, Peter. Good evening, Tomek. The regulars are here. Always good to see you. I'm very thankful and appreciative that you do turn up week after week. So thank you all so much for coming back along. All right, let me just check something. Yes, that's working fine. Right, okay, I can close my browser down. Wonderful. Grand. Hi, Ozzy. Good afternoon to you, sir. Hi again, Paul. Nice to chat with you earlier on. Now, Paul was chatting in something that I set up last week, and it's coming very well. It's available now if you can find it, but I'm still crafting it. But it would be nice if it became a bit of a community hub for us. I've got a few ideas. A few of you that I chatted with as part of the Patreon Zoom chat that we had on Friday. I mentioned it there. So if you are into Discord, or you have an account with a Discord or a part of a Discord somewhere else, then keep your eyes and ears open. Shut up, phone. I'm just going to turn this down to silence. Sorry about that. So yeah, if you have a Discord identity of something, keep your eyes and ears to the ground, and I will inform you in due course what's going on, if I manage to work out the technology, because it's a bit, yeah, I'm not that clever on the old computer stuff. So right, good evening, Al. Good evening, David. Oh, I presume. Well, yeah, I saw an image from you this morning, so you must still be here. Hope you're well. Good evening, Diane. Hopefully you haven't been deleting any cards or forgetting them this week. Grand. Lovely. People watching. Right, so have I got anything else to mention? The only thing I can think of is if you ever find yourself bored and you have a login of some description, then if you have a Twitch account, if you follow me on there, you will get notified when I am online, because when I go online on there, I may be doing some random stuff like going through the day's images, or doing some random editing, or playing Among Us or Fall Guys or something, just to waste a bit of time. So if you have a Twitch account, please do give me a follow there, and you can follow along as well. I know there are a few of you out there that do a little bit of gaming. So yeah, that's one of the things I've been doing last week, is kind of getting that kind of set up a little bit, doing a little bit more there. So I did randomly go live on there the other day. Paul was there. I think Ozzy was there. I think Ozzy watched it on catch up. So anyways, so yeah, if you do a bit of gaming and have a Twitch account, follow me there for all kinds of random stuff. Good evening, Jerome. Hope you're well. Hi, Anne. Just dropped in there. Wonderful. Right, so that's probably all the admin stuff that I can think of. If you haven't already, if I press this button a bit harder, it might come up. No, it's not. That is now. If you haven't already, then the 2021 calendar is available for pre-order right at this moment. So do get yourself to that address if you're so interested. That may or may not be the last time I flog you anything tonight. So, now one thing that is happening here, if you were in the UK, that Boris is going to do some kind of public address at 8 PM. So I may be sticking it on the telly in the background just to see what he's waffling on about now. Because we're going to have more lockdown. Well, not full lockdowns, but more restrictions. Because we're under restrictions already here in the northeast of England. So we can't go raving in other people's houses and stuff. So we've got stuff like that to deal with, and then it's going to extend to the rest of the country as well. So lots to think about, lots of restrictions and all that kind of bobbins. So right. So on Saturday, I went out for sunrise. Shock horror. And if I remember how to just press the bloody button, this might be better. You might be able to see what's going on. I went out for sunrise, did some ICM photography down by Embleton Bay with Alan. Good evening, Alan, who was in chat. I hope you're well. We were down there for sunrise. I'm not sure if Alan got anything. I got this shot that's on the front here. Minimal editing, no layering and all that, just one single exposure, a few Lightroom tweaks, decent enough image in the end. So quite nice when you don't have an hour's worth of editing to do on every single shot that you make. So that is quite nice. So I'm just I don't know what to do tonight, whether to look at processing a few images quickly just to see if we get something from them, or do the usual stuff, blend a crap load of things together and see what we get. So I'm more inclined to do a few quick things. So I may do a couple of quick edits. So these are the images that I picked out. If you want to see me picking them out and talking to Paul, then do watch me Twitch stream that. I think they sit there for about a week before they're deleted. So there's a few shots here which do need a bit of work on. I'm just scrolling through to remind myself what they were like. And then the last one was kind of the best one. So, and then I went out in the afternoon and it was crap. So, Squeaky Mouse is back, obviously, as you can hear. I think I'm just going to go through a few of these and do very quick, basic edits. Bit of cropping to get the best from things, because when I've been doing a bit of tuition, then, people, I wouldn't say people are thinking about the entire frame, where that's quite hard when you're doing ICM photography, because you've got a big wide frame and there might be just nice stuff in one little corner. And I think people don't realise you can actually crop right down into that little corner. So I think we'll do a bit of that. So, hi Stephen, hope you're well. And the rest of the family keeping all right as well, hopefully. Right, so some of these I did pick these ones out as, possibly usable stuff. So this kind of stuff, I'm looking for nice clean edges along like the very top of the waves where it's retreating or coming in. So I've kind of specifically picked these ones out for these reasons. That's maybe it's got a little bit too much movement, but never know. I think this one I kind of kept so I could blend the two together. Got movement and static and more movement. Let's Right, so let's actually start at the start. Let's go for something straightforward. So develop module. So these are going to be pretty quick edits, so probably, hopefully no more than 10 minutes per image. We'll see though. I'm just going to, so just basic cleanups on these. Auto just to see what it does. What kind of range we have. Right. Immediately I'm thinking this area in the center. Not sure we want anything of this at the bottom. Unless you keep that. Right, so we want transform, we want to level that. Level, that's where it is. Is it going to straighten it out for me or not? It did. Obviously just took a little bit of CPU power. Hi Aileen, I hope you didn't do yourself any damage. Hi DBB, I hope you are well. Thank you very much. Good evening Ray. Right, so yeah. Obviously, some of you may know that I did do a lot of wave photography back in the day. I quite enjoy it. So what I'm going to bring in some of this. If I zero that out, the highlights down. Still quite blown out sky there. That's disappointing. Bring that down. I'm just going to narrow that. Graduated ND filter. Soften that off a little bit. Okay. You and your Scottish customs and all that. Right, done. I think probably want a grad filter that's kind of reversed from this side. That's better. Then you can kind of get a rough gauge on where things are now. Basic adjustments, go auto. Let's just do it. I know it was dark, so this isn't going to work. That's a bit too warm. It wasn't as warm as that. Undo that. Let's just click on there and see what we get there. Ooh. Lots of humming tonight. Let's go auto. Auto wasn't great, was it? Actually, our shot isn't too bad. I think we could just do with a bit of saturation. Not too much though. We don't want to be one of them people, do we? Right, okay. I'm thinking a nice area is in the center here. I'm thinking something. Ease that out. Or even a 4x5 that kind of crops out this too much of the sunrise. There's a nice little bit of action going on this side. Come across and kind of unbalances it a bit, doesn't it? Let's go by 2x3. I'm just conscious of having too much sky. That isn't. I want to maybe get away from that headland in the background. See what that looks like. Do we get rid of that or not? Maybe it's not. Right, okay. A radial filter just to do some processing on these. Just want to kick the whites back a little bit. Drop that exposure a little bit and just add in the tiniest bit of yellow. Because obviously it's reflecting the sun in the background. Thanks, Peter. Great minds. So yeah, that looks quite nice-ish. Done. Now, the question now comes is, these two little bits of seaweed there, do they bother me? Or do I just crop in a little bit more here? I have a feeling that's maybe about the right kind of place. And then maybe we could let's see what the spot remover does for there. Does it do anything decent? No, of course it doesn't. So in a perfect world, I would sort that out. I'll put my teeth back in. I would sort that out in Photoshop. But we do have that streak. I don't mind these. I don't like that. So let us get a shot of that. Okay, and flaming hell, how are you, computer? Catch up. All you're doing is streaming and doing spot removal and all that stuff. Don't know what your problem is. Right, I'm just going to... what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Just lit. I don't want these blue, but if I do them thingies, whatever they're called, radial filter, and what are they called? Zero them all out. Yeah, zero it out. And get it so it's not so blue. Maybe. Help me, Lightroom. Are they a bit more white now? Or not? Hard to tell. They look more white there. Right, so we only want them to apply to that colour though. So pick that, and then we want to click in here. And hopefully, once it's finished processing, let me... this thing. It is a bit slow. Done. Does that make it look worse? I don't know. Might not have done what I was wanting it to do. Alright, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna increase the whites so they pop a little bit more. Also increase the clarity. Maybe drop that yellow back a little bit. Honestly, mask over. It does bleed quite a lot, doesn't it? That's about where I forgot all about all these sliders. So turn that off so I know where we are. It's a little bit better. They look a little bit more white than what they did. They just look like blue, you know, that blue ice before. Looked a bit naff. A little bit better, a little bit better. Right. One shot, done. I'm just going to give that a star rating of 2. On to the next one. Right. What do we have here? Now this one's going to be fairly simple because it's just probably a bit of a square in the middle. Piss sake, man. Okay, whatever. Highlights down, whites up. Whites in the foreground up then. More gradient. That then slap that there. Increase the whites. Ease the contrast back a little bit. A new thingy, what you call them, gradient mask, gradient, whatever. Very subtle, trying to be subtle there. Done. Quick few spots here. The worst of them. Few in the sky, which you can see there. Which means there was probably a few in the last one, but I didn't really look. Shouldn't really be that apparent. Right, that'll do. So we want to go to transform, level. That should level it up a little bit. The one thing my computer doesn't like is editing in Lightroom. Everything's so slow, so apologies if the computer's been crapping out a little bit. It's unfortunately it's not a lot I can do about it at the minute. But if you see in the background, one way or the other, maybe it's that way. Oh, it's just out of shot. Oh no, what's over my shoulder there? I have a new PC, or new to me PC, which at some stage I will have time to set up. It's kind of semi-set up, but not. Obviously hasn't got all my hard drives and stuff in. So that will be happening soon. Actually, I'm looking at. I don't like the colour. Detail doesn't matter. Noise reduction. Because it was early, not a lot of light, it's quite a bit ISO noise. Basic, right, colour. As shot. That's better. Like, as shot is better than what it was just overly warm. Daylight's not good. Yeah, as shot. Sure. A new, well, kind of a new toy. It's I think it's a bit quicker than what. Well, it is a bit quicker than the one I've got. So hopefully everything comes together. I've really not got much of an idea what's inside it. I know there's a 256 gigabyte SSD and a GTX 780 graphics card, but the rest of it I'm not sure. It's got 16 mega RAM. I'm kind of hoping it's the same type of RAM so I can take it out of this one and put it into that one, and then I might have 32. If not, I just have to look for some other RAM to go alongside it. Cheaper stuff or whatever. Right, I'm going to do a second crop of this one. Because like Peter said before, the headland on there is a little off-putting. So I'm going to do this 2x1 crop, but also I'm going to go 1x1. And just go and slap bang in the middle. Kind of try to balance it a little bit. Good, done. Right, so that's something. That's another shot. I'll give that 2-star rating. What do we have next? It's pretty much the same. So yeah, this is these three. Right, these three we can start combining. So what we want to do, we want to do some basic cleanup because we are going to layer these together. And we're not going to do anything mad in post, but just going to blend them together. You just get the castle kind of positioned and all that kind of gubbins. Hi Stephanie, I hope you're well. Another fantastic job on the ICM photo mag, Stephanie. Finally got a chance to look at it at the weekend. Brilliant stuff. That's not. I'm conscious of going too blue. Don't want to go too blue. Maybe so I can just about get away with that. Well, that didn't work the way I was expecting. Yeah, let's open some shadows out quite a bit. So we've got a good bit of sand there. What we'll need to do, I've already got some noise reduction there. Right, I'm not going to level these out because I want to do that in Photoshop, but what I will do, need to get some dust spotting going. Look at these. That's one thing about dust spotting and ICM, these kind of shots, is that I always kind of disrupt the lines. Never quite sit right. Come back here just a little bit. That's probably the worst one we need to worry about. Then we'll get these bottom ones. Yeah, dust spotting and streaming doesn't go well together. Yeah, one day I'll clean it again. I just think back to my heyday when in about 2012, 2013, when I was doing long exposures using f/22 and then wondering why my sensor was filthy and why it took 2 hours just to do dust spotting. It was horrendous back in them days. Right, never do I need to do anything else? Basics, just white. Do I increase the white a little bit? Maybe just generally dull this down a bit. Shut up, phone. Oh, Boris is going to start talking soon. Should we put Boris on the telly, see what crap he comes out with? Put the telly on in the background. Hopefully I'll not get demonetized for copyright of audio or something like that. Let's see what Boris says. Come on. Come on, TV. Turn on.
You In less than a year, this disease has killed almost 1 million people.
Let's see what he says.
And caused havoc to economies everywhere. Here in the UK,
Done.
we mourn every person we've lost. And
I'm going to sink these across.
And yet I'm more certain than ever that this is a struggle that humanity will win. And we in this country will win.
I'm going to open these into Photoshop, obviously. Do some layering.
That we face. None of them easy. And why we must take action now. I know that we can succeed because we have succeeded before. When the sickness took hold in this country in March, we pulled together in a spirit of national sacrifice and community. We followed the guidance to the letter. We stayed at home, protected the
Don't know if you can hear this, by the way.
and saved thousands of lives. And for months, with those disciplines of social distancing, we've kept that virus at bay. But we have to acknowledge that this is a great and freedom-loving country, and while the vast majority have complied with the rules, there have been too many breaches, too many opportunities for our invisible enemy to slip through undetected. The virus has started to spread again in an exponential way. Infections are up, hospital admissions are climbing. You can see what's happening.
Back to work.
We know, alas, that this virus
Right.
is no less.
Apologies if you can hear it in the background. I've got it just going on the side. Right, so these are the ones that kind of blended a bit together. So, blend these together.
Many more families losing loved ones before their time. And I know that faced with that risk, the British people will want their government to continue to fight to protect them, you. And that's what we're doing night and day. And yet the single greatest weapon we bring to this fight is the common sense of the people themselves. The joint resolve of this country to work together to suppress COVID-19.
Knock that back.
A package of tougher measures in England. Early closing for pubs, bars, table service only, closing businesses that are not COVID secure, expanding the use of face coverings, new fines.
You're probably right, Tomic.
Once again, asking
It's
office workers to work from home.
he went through it all at dinner time in the House of Commons.
And outdoors. A tougher package of national measures combined with the potential for tougher local restrictions for areas already in lockdown. I know that this approach, robust but proportionate, already carries the support of all the main parties in Parliament. After discussion with colleagues in the devolved administrations, I believe this broad approach is shared across the whole UK. And to those who say we don't need this stuff and we should leave people to take their own risks,
Yeah, actually, I don't think that darker colours kind of.
the tragic reality of having COVID is that your mild cough can be someone else's death knell. And as for the suggestion that we should simply lock up the elderly and the vulnerable,
I'm gonna mask this bottom one because I want this foreground to really pop.
the rest of the population, it would inevitably
It's the wrong way around.
to the elderly as well, and in much greater numbers.
Something like that.
We need to suppress
That's nice.
As
Nice.
for that minority,
Right, so we want this layer. I'm going to move that to the top so I know where things are. I'm going to darken. And I'm going to put this position so it's more apparent up on the top.
I'm deeply spiritually reluctant to make any of these impositions or infringe anyone's freedom. But unless we take action,
And then we can kind of start erasing the headland now.
measures later,
So
when the deaths have already mounted,
I'm going to mask this. I'm going to do this by
of infection,
paintbrush because it's quite a thin line that we're going to get rid of here.
virus get out of
So I'm
control.
just going to make sure that it's
That our NHS
opacity 100,
once again
flow 100.
with cancer patients and millions
How big's that? That's about there. Bring the hardness up a bit.
of new
See what that's like.
That would threaten not just jobs and livelihoods,
Painting black would help.
loving human contact on which we all depend. It would mean renewed loneliness and confinement for the elderly and vulnerable, and ultimately it would threaten once again the education of our children. We must do all we can.
And we just erase that line as well.
Again. But if people don't follow the rules we've set out, then we must reserve the right.
And we've got that headland in a little bit more detail, which kind of works. Lovely.
And this way, we can keep people in work, we can keep our shops and our schools open. And
What I'm going to do, I'm just going to put a mask on there, but on a weaker opacity setting, lower flow as well. And just paint out here because the clouds were a bit softer. Just soften those out a little bit. I'm going to undo that because I've gone too close to the castle there. Let's just leave it in that kind of area. Lovely. Lovely. Is he still gone?
They are unanimous that things will be far better by the spring, when we have not only the hope of a vaccine, but one day soon.
What have I just done here? Have I just cocked something up?
Of mass testing, so efficient that people will be able to be tested in minutes.
Did I
more of the things they love.
break something?
That's the dream. It's hard, but it's attainable, and we're working as hard as we can to get there.
I've broken something here.
But until we do, we must rely on
Haven't
our
I?
willingness to look out for each other, to protect each other.
Did I? Let's try that again.
And our collective health.
Right, delete layer mask. So this.
On our individual behaviour.
It's because I moved it, wasn't it?
Follow these simple rules together.
Because it was down here.
This winter together. There are
But it's still not right.
difficult months to come, and the fight against COVID is by no means over. And I have no doubt.
I don't know. I wasn't concentrating, Peter. Why did all that detail come back?
For us all to summon the discipline and the resolve.
It shouldn't be there.
And the spirit of togetherness that will carry us through.
Well, the Prime Minister Boris Johnson finishing his address to the nation. The fight against COVID-19 is by no means over, but we will get through this. Let's bring in our political editor, Beth Rigby, who's with me in the studio.
Did I press it? Did I do a keystroke and I've cocked up somewhere?
Well, as we expected, he really did lay it on all of us about the critical juncture we are facing in terms of dealing with this virus. And the enormity of the moment in terms of that second wave. Indeed, he began that address saying the struggle against COVID is the single biggest crisis the world
maybe, Peter. Hold on a minute.
But he also said he was more certain than ever this is a struggle that humanity can win, that we can win. But then he went on to really...
But that wasn't there before.
That idea that this really is
Was it?
a collective endeavour to get through the winter together. He thanked people for the efforts that they had made in that first lockdown. But then he said to them, to all of us,
it's not undoing what it should be undoing, though.
Togetherness that will carry us through.
That's weird.
He warned people that if they didn't comply, he would have to go further. And he reminded people that it was
right, so that's fine. We got to that stage. I was happy with that.
That if we all don't play our part, eventually this virus will travel through the population and it will affect the elderly and it will affect the vulnerable.
Right, let's try that. Let's try this again. Let's not get too overly complicated. Right, shut up. He's finished talking. You should talk straight, so. Need a paint in white. Why did that work? Black there. If I take that away. Yeah. Paint. Where the Painting white. Why is white not coming through there? White should be all over here. Or do you think Photoshop's crashed? Right, delete layer mask. New layer mask. I'm going to erase some erasing black. That's fine. Okay, let's go full strength on that. Sorry about this, people. Photoshop's being a pain in the backside. Why is it being a pain? Very, very weird. Have I got the layers all mixed up now? I need it, or I need to turn it off, Peter. Oh, that'd be... I see what you mean. I'm going to delete that. Right, which layer's which? Right, that layer's that. Right. So this, I need to... Yeah. I think I know where we're going now, finally. Right. Jesus Christ. I need to... I think we're getting back to normal now. Right. Erase that line. Bring that one back in. Then this one needs to go on the distance and all. Right. Just blame Boris. Blame him for everything. Quite right, David. Right then. So that is that. Mask that out. And then erase. No, that's a bucket, you fool. Make it bigger. Who's shuffling in there? All the news reports now. See, and Boris said this and Boris said that. Right, I need to paint that back in. Will you shut up? Shut up, phone, thing, whatever you are. Something like that, apart from in this area. For that mask, I need to paint some more of that back in. So you can get easily confused on where you are on your layers. There we have it. Getting much better again. No, I need to erase that, you fool. For fuck's sake. If I just erase all that. Will do, Peter. Let's just get the important bits done first. Paint that, and then we need to paint this back in. No, that's not going to work. I have got all my orders wrong, haven't I? Fuck. No. I'm lost. God damn it. Politics. It's all its problem. No, that's not fucking right either. Fuck's sake. Right. Go, yeah. Undo it that much. And I'll just have to get on with it. Too bloody long. So, if I'd done it perfectly, I would have sorted all that out, but I can't be bothered. What do I have left? Right, got that right. Okay. Yeah, because that'll keep the that's going to keep the virus at bay, isn't it, Stephen? Well, I've got a few followers. Maybe everybody didn't want to watch Boris either. Right. So yeah, if I could be bothered, is it on that layer? Or is it on that layer? It's on that layer. If I could be bothered, spot healing, that'll do. I would do this perfectly, but you know me. Can't be asked. Is that better for you, Peter? Right. So, I'm just going to... Actually, I've got a button for this. Photoshop. Merge layers. Yay. Right, so... What we do? Thingy crop, wasn't it? Free transform... Oh, balls. It's not. It's the crop tool that I want to crop so it's straight-ish. Something like that. No, I want to crop to the edges. Do you not restrain? Is there not a button to keep it within the... I think that's how much Photoshop I do these days. Alright, we'll just tick that as a yes. Right, I've missed that corner because of that pissing tool thing in the... Right. Just do a very quick of that. And again. You know what's even worse? Tuesday nights. In bake-offs on a Tuesday night now. Favourite TV programmes on the same time I do this. What's all that about? Right, are you going to fill that in? Or not? No, not really. It'll do. Right, so it's now turned out pants, but what we're going to do? What we're going to do? Right, so a bit of jiggery pokery. Something like that, and thatty thing. That's the other way I wanted to go, man. Something like that. Let's just go a little bit less there. There you go. Which one was easy, Peter? Which one was easy? What do I want here? I want a bit of colour. Not green, you fool. Blue. Blue. Right, I want to add in red. Just a wee bit of red. I want to mask that out. Something like that. Maybe dial it back a little bit. Happy days. Not the best of my work, obviously, but it'll do. Right, how many? Save. You've only got 4 layers. 6 including adjustments. Come on. So slow still. How it's not like I've been dicking around. Right. There's that one. Back to Lightroom. There was that version that we've just made. Does it look any better in Lightroom? Not really. See, there's lots of errors. So I couldn't figure out me bloody layers. Oh well, not to worry. Right, what else do we have? That was one we played with. And that was me on Saturday morning telling Alan, it's easy just to blend them together. Just a layer here and a layer there. Jobs are good. Right, this one's good. This I don't quite like the shape on the headland there. I'll come back to it though. Getting bright there, and I'll start getting a bit pants again. That's the one I made. Right, so back to the what version was it? That one. Now this one, I'm thinking portrait, because to me the star of it is this area here. So what I'm going to do, that's not very white. No, there's that. Let's go to there. That's better actually. And a filter there, but darker. Something kind of like that. How we pace. Lift that a little bit. Actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to lift it to there, and then I'm going to make a new one, which I think is two key combos. Move that one to there, but they have this one lesser. Just cool that off a little bit. Something like that. Right, I'm going to do spot this. Thanks, Stephen. Clean some of these out. For God's sake. Something like that. Right, okay. So this one, just going to straighten it out for the time being. There you go. What was that? Did I do lens corrections? No, I didn't. It's even better. Right, so there is a dust spot on the top left there. We will just roughly let it do its work. There's one there. There's one there. Not sure how they'll affect the clouds. You can barely tell. That's fine. Create a virtual copy. I did say I quite liked it as a portrait. So let's go 4x5, invert it. Go for something like that. Needs a bit of light in this area. So let's go for a graduated. I wish it would stop defaulting to that. Just want a little bit more light in there. Right, okay. Done. Right, I'm going to make this another copy. I would quite like this one a bit bluer. Not that blue though. I'm going to make sure these colours are right on these. That's default. Any colour in that one? No. Right, okay. I'll lift that on a little bit more. Just so I've got a bit of variation. Normal colour. Just going through the colour settings. I think I'll stick with as shot. Because with these lights, they do play tricks on the eye. I do like a cooler, like water shot when I'm dealing with the old water. So yeah, right. Is there anything we can't pull anything out of there. It'll just have to do as it pleases. In a perfect world, I wouldn't have a bright spot there, but it's not blown out. I can't really replace it, so it'll just have to do. So I've made a few images there. Let's see what it does. Library. I'm all on the library, yeah. So those, and then that one, which didn't really work. That square crop. A little longer cousin. And the first shot. I think it probably would have had better images had the morning been prettier. I thought at the time it was quite nice, but Alan wasn't that impressed. So we'll see. Right, I think that's enough for tonight for this struggling session. Obviously not my usual self, because it's all very straightforward editing, which I still somehow managed to cock up halfway through with that layering version. That one that didn't quite work out, but hey ho, we tried, we learned. Maybe, I don't know. So anyways, I think that will do for the editing. So thank you very much for watching. Just a note about what's coming up in due course. The second episode of the podcast, After the Click podcast, if you didn't know that there was such a thing, that is coming up. Hopefully the audio version will be out tomorrow. The video version, it's nearly ready to go. But I think that will maybe be Thursday or Friday when that comes out. So give that a listen, a watch, or whatever. I actually interviewed somebody for it. So lots of them being very competent and professional. Lots of me being a terrible host, as usual. So lots of stuttering and stammering and all that kind of thing. But it was a good chat. and it is with the ICM photographer, gallery owner, and everything else that she does in photography, Kaiser Seren, who you may know from the ICM Photo Mag and from the ICM Photo Mag Facebook group and various other places, but she was absolutely lovely and very gracious to talk to me for about an hour and 20 minutes. So the podcast is a bit of a long one. It's over an hour, but hopefully you enjoy that. And if you want to hear from anybody else, do let me know, and I will endeavour to try to provide that for you. So that'll be coming out. Yeah, the audio version will be out tomorrow. At the minute, it's aftertheclick.podbean.com. It may eventually get to the point of being broadcast to other podcast delivery places. It does look like I'm going to have to pay for the bloody thing. I was hoping to run this on like as free as I could for as long as I could, but there's on Podbean there's a limit. You can't upload anything more than 100 meg. So this one ended up being 106 meg. So it looks like I'm going to have to spend some money. But thankfully, there's been a few extra people joining the Patreon community this month. So I will be using some of that to pay for the podcast hosting. So if you want, just letting you know that's the realities of things these days. So yes, and if I'm paying for it monthly, then I might as well make more podcasts. So that's a good one a good reason to carry on with it for as long as we can. Right then, with that, I will leave you to, if I go to that button, I did do it this time, yeah, just a bit slow. Yeah, I haven't got a slider for podcast or anything like that. One day I'll sort out a proper address so you can find it in the right place every time. So keep an eye out for that. So just follow me me Twitter and me Facebook and Instagram stories, and I will advertise such things on there for your addresses. And I think maybe if you go to Twitter, there's all my links link. Go for that to find all the various links to everywhere. So right. Hi Radfo, hope you're well. Good to see you at the very end. Right then, I will be off. I'm going to see what Boris has rewatch what Boris said. So see how much longer we're going to be locked down for. Happy days. All right. Thanks, Peter. Thanks, Anne. See you, Stephen, and everybody else. Stay safe, everybody. What the? Alexa just bleeped at me. Right. Until the next one, keep it hard. See you.